Hi guys, so we will discuss about the SonarQube and Nexus installation in our today's session. Okay, so yeah, SonarQube is a code quality check tool. SonarQube is a code quality and code coverage. Okay, code coverage tool. Okay, so it is working on the port called 9000. And also, I will show you how the Nexus, it's a artifactory repository, artifactory repository. So, it is working on a port called, repository. It is working on a port called 8081. Okay. So, how it will work, in a real-time scenario. Let's have a pictorial understanding. So, consider there is a code server where developers are uploading the code, right? So code server. So like for example, some GitHub where your code is there. Okay. So as a DevOps engineer, you will take that code, you will build the application using some tool called Maven. Okay. And you will release the application to a application server. Okay. For example, this is my application server where I am installing Maven, where I am installing Git, where I will install SonarQube, where I will install Nexus and Tomcat. Okay, so what I will do, I will take the project code. This is the process flow, and I will use Maven to build the artifact like a var file. Okay, the artifact, the var file. Right. So if it is the before generating the var file, you have to what you need to do. You have to first check the code quality using Maven, and right if the code is good, it will go for the generation of var file. And what we will do basically, we will store all the var file version 1, version 2, version 3 var files in a artifact repository, and finally we will deliver to a end server. So this is your Tomcat, it's application server. So I install application software called Tomcat. I will install Nexus. I will install Sonar. Okay. So for doing this practical, I am taking one server called application server called, it's a Ubuntu. Okay, I will take a Ubuntu server. I will show this entire process. So I have connected to a AWS account. I will go to EC2. I will go to instances. Okay, I will launch an instance called Sonar Nexus Tomcat. Okay, set. So I will take a Ubuntu server and I will take a 20.04 version. I will take 4 GB RAM. Okay, and I will take the existing password file and I will open the ports. So the Tomcat is working on a port called 8080. It's a application server. Application server. Okay. So you know already Maven is a builder tool helpful for Java project building. And we have GitHub. It's a source code repository where project code will be there. So to install this, I kept some commands in the GitHub repository of my GitHub repository. So yeah, here is my GitHub repository. Here I created a file, setup.txt file. Okay, this is the file. I will give that to you. Okay, no worries. So this is the commands. Okay, what to do, right? So this is the Nexus installation steps. These are Nexus installation steps, and these are SonarQube installation steps. So in the organization, you will have this setup. Okay, if you join in a company, in very less situations, you have to install it from scratch onwards. But most probably, you will have this setup. Okay, you'll have this setup. Okay, so what I'm going to do, i'm going to I'm going to open ports. What are the ports? I have to add a security rule in a security group. Okay, inbound rule. I will open 8081 for Nexus, and I want to access it from any location. This is Nexus. Okay, and I will open one more port called 9000 for Sonar, and I want to access it from any location. So I will use for Tomcat, I will use one of the Docker container. Okay, so this is some Docker container I will use. Okay, this is Docker. So what I will do, so Docker container will take 8080, but we cannot access container port number from outside. So that's why from outside at server level, I will open 8090. I will open 80. I will link it. Okay, I will link this 8080 with 8090. Okay, or if you want to use same 8080, not a problem. Okay, so yeah, any issue, any problem. Okay, no problem. So that's why what I'm doing, I'm going to open 8080 for Tomcat in the Nexus server. Okay, in Tomcat in the Docker. Okay, as a container. Okay, so let me go with the 25 GB hard disk launched. So if you see instances, this is your Nexus Tomcat SonarQube. So once the server is up and running, once the server up and running, so we can connect to it. Right, the server is up and running. Let me connect to it. Let me connect. The one server is connected. What are the softwares you have to install it? I kept in the setup.txt file. So you have to first update your server. Let's update it. Let me make it as a root user. Okay, let me update all the softwares. Okay, it is getting updated. And the prerequisite software is Java. Okay, and that's why I'm installing Java and the other prerequisite softwares as well. Okay, what are the other prerequisite softwares like unzip for unzipping the zip file? Okay, and tree to see the folder scene structure. Maven is a build tool. Wget for downloading the file from web. Unzip for extracting. Also, I will install docker.io. Okay, so yeah, so these are the prerequisites. If you want to keep it in one line, also you can make it one line. Okay, so yeah, okay, I'm installing these prerequisites. Let me copy the line. Let me paste here. We were installing the prerequisite softwares. It is installing. Let's wait. It is unpacking. It is installing. Right, 35, 36%, 40, right? Let me make this into a one line. Right. It is almost done, 99%. It is done, right? The installation of the prerequisites are done. You have to, right? install the Nexus, I'm going to OPT folder, and what I'm doing here, I'm trying to download the Nexus software 3.2902 version Nexus. It is comes from the company called Sonatype. I'm installing Nexus first. Okay, I'm downloading the latest file of Nexus. So yeah, it is getting downloaded. If you observe that this is the website. Okay, copy that. Slide issue. Let me go back to the repository. Okay, go back purely. Fine. Let me go back. The Nexus Sonar type. Okay. Yeah, it is downloaded. Okay, it is right. The zip file is downloaded. So what you have to do, right? You have to create one new folder and extract that the complete jar file, the zip file, to the Nexus folder. So this is a zip file. Okay, how we have a Windows zip file. Similarly, a zip file. So you simply run these commands. Okay, you don't need to worry about it. Just create a folder in OPT Nexus folder and try to extract that. Okay, if you see ls/opt Nexus, nothing is there. Let me extract that to that. It is extracted. Now, if you verify, all the important files are extracted, copied from this zip file. Okay, so which is done. So now you have to edit one file using vi editor. Okay, which file? opt nexus bin nexus.rc file. Just edit this file and run as a user root. Okay, we are running this as a root. Now you have to start the Nexus. How to start it? Which is getting started. Now we can take the public IP of the Nexus and try to use 8081. 8081 is the IP. So it will take some time. Okay, get loaded. Let's wait. If you want to check the status, STATES, it is running. Where the Nexus password is located, this is the location. OPT Nexus Sonatype work Nexus 3 admin.pass. So please note down the password, okay, at some location. Okay, still it is loading. Let's see, it is loading now. We can get the password. Once it's properly loaded, we can it will get generated the password. Okay, yeah, this is the location. Let me copy the URL. Cat, this is the password, so please write, note down some place, copy. Let me note down here. Let me provide the username is admin, password is password. Right, click on next. If you want to change the password, for example, I want to change it to some Raju at the rate 1234. We take this, provide it. Disable anonymous access and finish. Now I connected as admin user. You can upload your WAR files in different locations. You have different places. Releases folder, or a snapshots folder, or a right you get hosted folder like that. Right. So similarly, let's install SonarQube. Then we can see the project. Okay. So how to install SonarQube? Here I mentioned you have to update the softwares. Let's get updated if anything is there. Nothing is there, and let's try to make the system configuration to some extent and try to install database called Postgres. The Postgres database is the backend for the SonarQube. So I'm trying to install the Postgres. We're installing Postgres. We're starting the Postgres, and we are providing the password for the Postgres user. Okay, let me do this installation of Postgres and starting the Postgres. Right? We have enabled. We're connecting. Let's wait. Postgres installation is complete. It is enabled. We have to set a password. Pass WD for Postgres user. I'm giving some 1, 2, 3, 8. You can provide anything. Okay. I updated a password. Let's switch as a Postgres user and try to start right and try to create a user. Try to create a user called Sonar. Create a user SonarQube and switch or open Postgres console. This is Postgres actual place where you will alter the code. The database engineers will alter the code, alter the database tables. Okay. So these are just providing the SonarQube user to manage the SonarQube database. Okay, these are just altering permissions. Okay, we provide it and create a database with the owner of Sonar and grant a privilege permission for SonarQube on SonarQube database. And finally, you can quit. Run the PSQL Postgres SQL and exit as a Sonar user. Done. Right? SonarQube installation is the SonarQube related prerequisite Postgres installation is completed. Now you can do the SonarQube installation. How to do that? Just try to download the SonarQube. It is getting downloaded. Which version SonarQube? 8.91. 8.9.1. Once it is downloaded, you have to extract. Just run the unzip command. That's why I installed unzip initially. Okay, that's why I install unzip, right? Unzip we have installed initially, right? And unzip to which location? OPT, right? And after that, rename that 8.9.1 to some SonarQube name. And after that, what you have to do? Provide, add a group called Sonar and provide the user SonarQube to manage this SonarQube folder. You have to set some ownership as well, right? Let's run these commands. It is done. And finally, update the SonarQube properties file with the SonarQube username, SonarQube password, and the connectivity, database connectivity is Postgres. Do the same thing. Let's go inside this file and here go down, right? You can provide the connectivity. Just take these 3 lines of code, add it, and save. And after that, you have to edit this file, Sonar shell script file, and give the run as user is Sonar. Okay? Just so who is run as user? SonarQube. So for SonarQube only, provide all the prerequisites, which is done. And finally, you can go to this folder, OPT SonarQube binary Linux, start your shells. Then SonarQube will get started. If you want to verify the status, this is the status. And if you want to verify, copy the public IP and use 9,000, right? 9,000. This is Nexus. This is Sonar. And Sonar username is admin and password is also admin. Okay. It's starting. Let's wait. And here is the code. Okay. What I'm going to do it. I will copy this code. Okay, I will do one thing. I will connect to my server. I will go to some OPT location. I will try to clone it, git clone the project code. I will go to the Maven Nexus Sonar setup. Here is the code having some src file. If you use tree command, you can observe the src having main file, web apps, web inf, web.xml, index.jsp, index.jsp. Okay, so these are the files. Okay, so but we need a var file. We need to copy that var file to which some, right, var files to your Nexus and to your Tomcat, and check your code quality in Sonar. So to do that, we can have two methods. We can do it from Jenkins. Either we can directly do it from Maven. So Jenkins we'll see coming days, but Maven I will show that. So if you ask Maven to do this, the Maven should know the credentials of Sonar. Maven should have the credentials of Nexus. Maven, right, will know about the Tomcat as well, right? So first of all, let's see the SonarQube code quality check. If you want to check your code quality, this is your SonarQube. Username is admin, password is admin, login, and a old password and new password. Let me set. I'll set the same password. Okay, update. Here you will see the SonarQube, the code bugs, quality gates, reliability, security of your code, maintainability of your code, right? You will see. Okay. So you have to go to administrator, my account. You have to go to security, generate the token. So Maven token. Take this token, copy. So if you want to check your code quality using Maven within the SonarQube, you have to provide your code, the token of Sonar, and within your local server only, right? That's why I provide a local host. Either you can use SonarQube server IP also, and you can check. You can check the, right. You can check the code, right? You can run this command. What will do? It will create a project in your SonarQube with the code quality checking. If you run this, it will connect to SonarQube. Let's wait. It is running. Let's wait. Right, which is success. If you observe, go to projects. If you refresh, you can see Maven web app folder. Here, 3 bugs, vulnerabilities. If anything, nothing. Code is passed. What type of code you have, you can see the code as well, and the issues you can see, right? So what you will do if you found, right, any issues, if code is not passed, you will ask the, right, there will be a separate analytical team like SonarQube checking team, okay, in the organization. You can pass them this thing as a DevOps engineer, okay, and they will check, they will fix it, and once they let you know, you do the same process like running this, okay. So you know how to check the code quality, and but how to store your version files in the Nexus artifact. So for that, you need to let Maven the Nexus credentials. So how to let know that? So you have to go to etc maven, okay, settings.xml file. Within this file, you have to go, you have to provide your, you have to provide the Nexus server details under server section. I already mentioned that here. You have to go to this file and provide your Nexus password. Okay, this one. Okay, and username is admin only. Let me take this code. The deployment repo, this name should be matched with the main file of a Java project, pom.xml file. It should be matched. If you go down, there is a distribution management code. Here you should mention your snapshot information, that and the repository ID, deployment repo, the same deployment repo. Okay, it should be matched. Copy that, and you have to go to the file and you have to provide. And now you have to save. So now it is saved. And after that, right, you have to update your pom.xml file. I already updated where I want to store these artifacts, like the var file, into Maven snapshots. That means Maven this folder. Currently nothing, but once you run ambient clean deploy, which will deploy it. So right, deploy is one of the stage. So we are right. So Maven have different stages like validate, compile, test, package, deploy, right? So like that. So clean means it will clean that target folder. If you see, this target folder will be cleaned. Okay, this target folder when it is created, 5559, that 1559, right? If you ambient clean deploy means it will delete the target folder, and which will create a new target folder with the var file, and which will go to store in this Maven snapshot folder. Let's wait for that. Let's wait. right? It is success, right? If you verify here, if you go to browse, if you go to Maven snapshots, you can see 2.0 snapshot, right? If you go inside, right, here you have var file, right? Right, and why the var file is 2.0, you can see the right, the pom.xml file you have mentioned 2.0. For example, if you change it to 3.0, it will change it to 3.0. When you will change it? When developer released a new change, at that time you will change that. Okay. So you will take this var file. If you see the var file, you will copy it to a Tomcat cell. So what I'm doing, I'm taking one Docker container. Okay. I'm trying to take one Docker container. Okay. I'm taking one Tomcat Docker container. I'm opening 8090. Okay. So externally to access it from server level. If you go to security group, how you can open a 8090? You have to click on edit inbound rule, open, or if you want to edit existing one, you can change it. Because I opened 8090, that's why I edited. Okay. Let's save it. Now if you go back, which is done, which is right, which is created, right, if you want to access Tomcat as well, copy the IP, use 8090. This is Tomcat. What is the how to access the applications in Tomcat? Click on manager app, username is admin, password is admin, and here you will see different applications. And if you want to copy your var file, you want to copy your var file, right, you can take, right, you can take this command docker cp, currently in under target, this is the var file, copy it to web apps folder of your container is Tomcat. Okay, username password same admin. Okay, run this command. So now if you run this, it will get copied. If you see here, refresh, one more application. This is a message like some cloud DevOps by Raj, right? You can see that.